Welcome to SportsBeat KC, the Kansas City Star's daily sports podcast. It's Tuesday, January 26th, and I'm Blair Kirchhoff. In honor of the Chiefs' Run It Back tour, which continues at the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, we're going to run back some post-game interviews from the AFC title game today. You'll hear the newsmakers in the game, starting with Patrick Mahomes and then Travis Kelce and Mecole Hardman. What an adventurous night for Hardman. We'll take a break, and then after that, you'll hear from Tyrann Mathieu and then General Manager Brett Veach. Before we get started, I should let you know that Andy Reid met with reporters on Monday, and he let us know that left tackle Eric Fisher would miss the Super Bowl with a torn Achilles. That's a tough break for the Chiefs, which now face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl with 3 offensive linemen who didn't start the season. The Chiefs have a couple of weeks to get ready, but let's go back a couple of days to hear what the team said after beating the Buffalo Bills to win their second straight AFC title, starting with Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, congrats on the win. You had a really tumultuous week physically wise. Were you going to play? Were you not going to play? At what point in the game did you feel like, all right, I'm feeling good and I'm ready to rock?
I felt good from the warm-ups on. We did a good job as far as rehabbing, getting myself ready to go, and I feel like I was myself out there, and we were able to go out there and score points and find a way to win against a really good football team.
Go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Patrick. This game would obviously be a huge game regardless, but what's sort of just the magnitude of playing in Tom Brady against in a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, the Super Bowl is the Super Bowl. Being able to go up against one of the greatest, if not the greatest, quarterback of all time in his 150th Super Bowl, I mean, it's going to be a great experience for me. I mean, to go out there and have a chance to repeat and get to do it against the best, I mean, it's something special, and I'm excited for the opportunity.
Let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Patrick, what exactly is going to be your game plan going forward? I mean, how much are you going to allow yourself to enjoy this versus, when you're going to start looking at film and really getting into the Super Bowl?
I mean, I'll start looking at film tomorrow. I mean, we're in COVID protocol, so I can't really do much, but celebrate with Brittany and my brother. But I'll be excited to do that tonight. But I mean, our goal from the beginning of the season was to win the Super Bowl, not to get to it. So I'll be on the film tomorrow.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Congratulations, Patrick. Just wanted to ask you, what worked so well for both Tyreek and Travis when you were allowed to throw the ball without having to move as much?
Yeah, I mean, those guys just know how to get themselves open. I mean, they're obviously super talented, but they understand our offense to a crazy degree. And so I thought EB did, and Coach Reid did a great job of designing plays for them to get them open, and they were able to get open in zone or man coverage, and I just got them the ball.
Let's go next to Vahe Gregorian.
Hey, Patrick, congratulations. Brad, I'll have one follow-up, too. Patrick, I wonder if you might be able to tell us, it looked like you went over to Mecole pretty quickly after the punt to try to tell him something along the lines of "we need you" or something to that effect. What did you try to establish there?
Yeah, I mean, I just told him to keep his head up. I mean, we've been in that situation before. So I told him he's gonna make a play in this game that's gonna change the game, and he made multiple of them. So we believe in each other. We think that we're gonna do whatever it takes to win, and those guys did that.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Patrick, congratulations. It sounded like at the AFC title podium, one of the things you said was job's not finished. I was wondering if that was an intentional tribute to Kobe Bryant, what went behind it, and why that mentality means something to you.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe has one of the best mentalities of all time as far as a competitor going out there and winning championships, not just winning games. And I take a lot from that, going out there every single day and not being satisfied with where you're at. And like I said, the job's not finished. When we went into the season, we weren't talking about going to the Super Bowl. We were talking about winning it again, and we're trying to run it back. And we mean that, and I'm excited for the opportunity to go out there and play against a great football team and try to do that.
We'll take 2 more. We'll go Arnie and then Steve. Go ahead, Arnie.
Hey, Patrick. Andy talked about how in the AFC championship a couple years ago that after the overtime loss, Tom Brady came and talked to you, and he said it was a special moment for you. Can you just tell me what it meant for you in your career as a young guy, what it meant when Tom came and talked to you afterwards?
Yeah, it just kind of reemphasized that I was doing things the right way, that I was putting in the right work, and that I would have more opportunities to be in these games. And I've been lucky enough to be in 2 more of them since and win both of those. And so get to go up against a great football team as well. And so I'm excited for the opportunity.
We'll go last to Steve Walls. Good, Steve.
Hey, congrats, Patrick. I want to ask you about the offensive line. It seems like they made a point today to put in some work and play pretty solid. Can you talk about the job that they did?
Yeah, I mean, those guys have just been battling. They've been battling. They've accepted the challenge. When they play the way they've played these last 2 games, we're a hard team to beat. And so we put that on them. I mean, we tell them that. We reemphasize that as we go as they go. And as they play with that attitude and that mentality to finish and to do their job, you see our offense does special things.
Awesome touchdown catch you had. I was hoping you kind of walk me through the concept and what happened. It looked like mesh. But like, what did you see and what happened on the play?
Well, it's actually a pretty familiar route concept for a lot of people in the red zone. You can get a lot of people mixed up in the play action and the wash of what's really going on in the backfield. And then you put me and Tyreek, one in the back of the end zone, one in the front of the end zone, and hope that one of us can win our matchups, thinking that it's a man coverage. And sure enough, everybody forgot about me. So I was just wide open. I'll tell you what, though, man, it's always just a little bit awkward when Pat puts it up like that, man, because you're open, but you don't know how open you are. So it's just waiting for that thing to come down. Felt like it took forever.
Go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Travis, when did you know this week that not only Pat was going to play, but he was going to play and be the Pat that you know? When did you know that was something you saw in practice, anything like that?
Honestly, I left the game last week to see his excitement for the win in the locker room. I mean, I know he had to go through protocols and all of that, but he never seemed like he wasn't himself. He never seemed like there was ever a doubt in his mind that he was going to play in this game. And I think it was just kind of letting everything play out in terms of the protocols or the concussion protocol. And but I mean, he was out there dialed in, throwing the ball all over the field and making the right decisions. And sure enough, today, man, he played his A game and led us to the Super Bowl, man.
The last 2, Steve and then Matt. What's Steve?
Hey, what's up, Trav? Hey,
Steve.
Not much. We all know you're a veteran in this league, right? But week to week, no matter who is guarding you, it seems like you still find a way to consistently be a problem for defenses. How is it that it looks like you're still getting better, man, or is it all just routine for you?
That's all I know how to do is attack the day, find a weakness or find something that I can get better at when I'm in the building, when I'm out on the practice field. When I watch film, I'm my worst critic, man. I tell myself I'm a scrub all the time when I see myself not doing something the right way or getting locked up. And there were a few plays out here, man. That's a good football team right there. Don't let the score, get it twisted. That team can play some football. I think we just had the quarterback back there that can make all the right plays and all the right throws. And sure enough, today he was just flawless. And it led us to victory.
Last to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Travis, congratulations.
Thank you.
Last year was really emotional for you, going through from the AFC title game all the way to the parade. It was a big deal. Is this year different? I mean, is the emotional, where you are right now, mindset-wise, different than it was a year ago right now?
Man, I think it's different in a way of I can't really put my finger on it, man. It's almost like it's a little bit more exciting. I feel like last year it was a question of whether or not we belonged, and this year it was let's go out and prove to ourselves that we are who we are, and the resiliency, how we're going to handle adversity. I just love this team, man. This team has helped me in life in so many different ways, just because of how we handle adversity and how we win football games, and how we just keep getting better. And I love it here, man. I can't wait to go down to Tampa in 2 weeks and give them our best shot.
Hey, Mecole, congratulations. I wonder if you could take us through after the punt return, what you were going through and what Patrick said to you on the sideline, and if that mattered, if that helped you.
I don't know what's going through my head, man. Just, a dumb mistake on my part. Could have been better, but, like Pat, and the other guys, just like, keep your head up. It's a long game. Got a lot of more plays to make, and we're going to need you down the stretch. And that was that.
Go next to Pete Sweeney. Good, Pete.
Hey, Mecole, congratulations. It seems like the general theme of the team tonight has just been dissatisfaction, just not satisfied yet. A little bit different than last year's AFC title game. Just how much do you feel that is throughout the locker room, that there's just so much more to do in making sure you win 2 weeks from now?
I think this team, I think we just have a goal in mind, and we all want to achieve that goal, and no matter what it takes. And I think we just a group of guys that want to be perfect, and strive for their perfection. And no matter how we do it, it's like we could have did that better. You know what I'm saying? We could have did this better. And we left too many plays out there. I think it just, we always try to improve on everything we do. And I think that's what kind of like separates us. And, I think we're going to take that kind of same mentality into 2 weeks from now to the Super Bowl.
Go 2 more. We'll go Todd and then Herbie. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Mecole, we don't get to be in the locker room with you guys during the week or after the games anymore. Last year, it struck me that you guys were so close and so tight. How has this year been a little bit different with the way you guys have to go about your business doing things? And has that in an odd way maybe even brought you closer together, that you guys have had to endure all this other stuff besides just football?
I don't know. I think with the pandemic and, changing a lot of things, it's more so like it's just – you can't use that as an excuse, if that makes sense. I don't think we use that as an excuse. And I think it actually did bring us together closer because we had to take care of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we couldn't go out there and do things we usually do and bring that into the locker room, with everybody and, calling people to miss games and stuff like that. I think we did a real good job of that this year and protecting each other and did bring us together because we all had to be, all locked in and on one page, and I think we did a great job of that, and we're gonna continue to do that going into the Super Bowl. And I think, I think that's how we did things.
We'll go last to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Mecole, to quickly follow up on Vahe's first question there. You had mentioned that your teammates stuck by you. What did it mean to you that they still called the plays for you, and how gratifying was it for you that you scored that touchdown and had that 50-yard run?
My teammates, I was going, they're going to be with me, you know what I'm saying? They're going to keep me up. They're going to keep me motivated and, and make sure I don't have my head down. And I was still mentally intact. So, it wasn't that, but it's also good to the coach, still have confidence in you, to call some plays for you, to make things happen in the game. The type of player I am, I'm going to try to take advantage of the opportunities that I get. And I still got all the more confidence in the world back there returning punt. So I'm still, they still kicking the ball out of bounds even after the muff. They still muffing kicks after the muff, So they tell you they still respect me back there. And I'm just still waiting, for that chance to, to make up for what I did this game. And then, I think going into the Super Bowl is kind of, it's going to be one of those games like, hey, I'm coming to make a statement. So.
Hey, it's Blair. We have a special subscription offer for SportsBeat KC listeners, unlimited digital access to the Kansas City Star's award-winning sports coverage. Sign up now for 1 year of Sports Pass for access to all the sports news, features, and columns presented on the kansascity.com site, and it's only $30. That's a 40% savings off our regular rate. Your subscription will automatically renew after the initial term at $50 unless you tell us to cancel. Your subscription helps support the sports coverage of kansascity.com and the Kansas City Star, and that support has never been more important. Please visit kansascity.com/SportsBeatKC offer to get this special offer. And as always, thanks for listening.
Congrats on the win. I think the message from everybody has been, it's a good win. It's glad to be here, but the job's not done yet. How do you kind of stay even keel as you cross off one of the big goals on the bucket list coming into the season?
It's all about team, man. As long as we stay committed to the team, as long as we stay committed to our process, continuing to trust our coaches, believe in those guys, everything else will take care of itself. It's not really about, individually how we feel. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is whether you won or lost the game. Obviously, it was a great win for us. Job not done, though. We got one more game to go, and so we'll be ready for it.
Let's go next to Jory Epstein. Go ahead, Jory.
Tyrann, obviously y'all have time to prepare for Tampa, but Brett Veach talked specifically about how your leadership gives him confidence in this defense. What gives you the most confidence about why y'all are ready for Brady and the Bucs?
It's all about preparation. It's all about, the information that you're able to take in and then take it to the field. It's all about understanding and believing in your coaches, all about believing in their plan, the game plan. And then from there, it's all about us going out there trying to execute that game plan. And, you're not always in the best position. Sometimes, we got to go above the X's and O's to make a play. But, it's all about team. It's all about our coaches.
Go next to Herbie, TOP. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Tyrann, during the week, you had mentioned how dangerous these Bills receivers were, but it seems like there was a concerted effort today to take away Stephon Diggs. What went into the plan to take away Diggs?
Well, I felt like for the most part, we ran our, same defense that we've been running, for the last couple of weeks or so. Obviously, he's a great receiver. So, great receivers require you to double them from time to time. But at the end of the day, I thought Travaris Ward, I thought Rashard Breeland, Rashad Fenton, L'Jarius Sneed, Dan Sorensen was covering wide receivers today. So I kind of, I had a day off in my mind. It's good to see those guys step up, and win their one-on-one matchups. And that's what it's all about, man. It's all about technique. It's all about leverage, and just making the plays that come to you.
We'll take three more. Adam, Nate, and then Vahe. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Tyrann, a couple things. First of all, on Pat, he had a lot to overcome this week. When did you know, not that he was just going to play, but that he was going to play as well as he did today? And Brad, I'll have one follow-up as well.
I knew after the last game, when he was in the locker room, and, he had that look in his eye like, don't forget about me. He's a great talent, man. He's a better teammate. He's a better person. Just watching him work throughout the week, he was the same old Pat. He's the same teammate, same leader. Moving around, trying to extend plays, even in practice. Then on top of that, he's a gamer. So it doesn't necessarily matter the situation or the circumstances. He tends to rise above all of that.
I'm curious what your realistic expectations were when you signed here. Did you think that you weren't just going to get a shot at a Super Bowl and a championship, but multiple Super Bowls and maybe multiple championships?
I didn't, to be honest, man, obviously, you have big time dreams, you have big time goals. Obviously, it was a great football team before I got here. Obviously, you want to compete for a championship, but the only expectation I had, man, was to come in and, show the guys who I am, day to day. And so it's 2 years later and, practice, still means the most to me. Game day is just it's fun, but, for me, it's all about practice. It's all about how I prepare and how I get my teammates prepared. So, but I probably say, that was my only expectation, man, was to come in here, work hard, understanding that, we had a great team, a great coaching staff, and a lot of those things take care of themselves.
We'll go last to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Tyrann, I know you guys are back-to-back champions and you've won 24 of 25 before today, but was there a sense in the locker room that guys were still motivated by some naysayers out there that were obviously either picking the Bills or weren't confident that you guys had the chance to go back to Super Bowl based on, winning close games instead of, the traditional blowout that you had tonight?
Obviously, man, we live in a social media world and, the TVs are always on. Some places got 30 TVs in one building, So, you hear a lot, you see a lot. I think at the end of the day for us, man, it's all about team. It's all about whether or not we're committed to each other. It's not necessarily about any outside noise. Just looking through the locker room, looking around the locker room, everybody believes in each other. It doesn't matter if it's Pat Mahomes out there or Chad Henne. It doesn't matter if we're throwing a deep ball to Tyreek Hill or, DeMarcus Robinson. I think in everybody's mind, it's our play to make. So, it's just good to have that bond. It's good to have that chemistry, man. I think that's what keeps, great teams going, is that commitment to one another.
Just like to say congratulations to our great fan base, this great city and really the entire organization. Certainly Clark Hunt and the Hunt family for all their support and everything they do. Mark, Andy. Last year, we certainly had the opportunity to show the league what type of talent we had on the field. And I think this year we got to show them what type of talent we have in the organization to get through this season with all the adversity. Everyone just chipping in. Our trainers are phenomenal. Our training staff, the facilities people. the grounds crew. It's been challenging, but we're certainly blessed to have the talent we have top down. So thanks to all those guys for their support throughout the season, and it's a blessing to work here and work for them. So with that, I'll take your questions.
We'll go first to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Brett, you guys have been pretty open and consistent with the run it back thing, right? There's some organizations that might look at that as like, oh, that's a little bit much. I just always got the feeling that you guys saw that as a way to sort of stay focused, stay motivated. Am I right about that? What was your view of that part of it?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, look, we have a great locker room, and when you have guys like Tyrann Mathieu and Pat Mahomes on each side of the football, those guys are going to demand attention to detail, just like the head coach. So our guys embraced it. They love being not, I guess in years past, we were the hunters, but they embraced being the hunted, and they love that challenge. And these guys are always looking for ways to motivate themselves. So that was another way to do that.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Brett, I'm just interested from your perspective, just obviously accomplishing this. Obviously, you need guys who are putting the roster to play well, guys like L'Jarius Sneed, Nick Allegretti, Mike Remmers, and obviously Darrell Williams, obviously playing in the postseason for the first time. Can you just explain how rewarding it is to give those guys a chance to have success alongside, obviously, the stars?
Yeah, well, we say it every year going into the drafts in the offseason. These are long seasons. These are week in, week out. It's tough to win games. Long seasons, battle of attrition, and it's not a question of if, but when the next guy's got to step up. So we really take a lot of pride in building the roster, and certainly we have superstars at the top. But we know as the season goes on, as you mentioned, Nate, guys like Mike Remmers and Darrell Williams. I mean, those guys keep seasons going, and those guys are going to be called upon. And you never know when, but these guys train, they prepare, and they work their tails off. But certainly, we know how important depth is in this league, and that's why I think our staff does such a great job of being aggressive at any point, not just free agency in the first round of the draft, but just staying active throughout the course of the calendar year.
Go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Brett, congratulations. I'll have a couple things for you here. First of all, when did you know that Pat was not just going to play, but play as well as he did tonight, and after all he had to overcome this week? And Brad, I'll have one quick follow-up.
Really just the dialogue I had with Rick throughout the week. And I mean, you guys know Pat as well as anyone throughout the country. Just he's a competitor, and I think he has that ability to kind of work through pain, and you see it really throughout his career, whether he had a shoulder, an ankle, knee. I mean, shoot, the guy came back last year after dislocating his kneecap, and I think 2 days later he was in the pool doing drops. So you knew there wasn't going to be really anything to keep him off the field, and if he was cleared medically, that he would manage the pain in the toe. And I think he had some pain afterwards, but you knew once he put the helmet on out there, he was going to give you everything he had, and he certainly did that tonight.
And as you were building this team, when did you start thinking in terms of multiple championships rather than just the one, if that makes any sense? I know you take nothing for granted. I get that part of it. But I'm just wondering when, Clark kind of alluded to this when you guys were building this, that maybe there was going to be an opportunity for more than just one. And I'm just kind of wanted to get into your thinking on that.
Yeah, I think, the approach that we have is we had a good core and a good nucleus with Pat and Chris and Tyrann, and I think our mindset was to just fill in as much talent as we could, and we knew. I mean, I think when you have a Hall of Fame coach and you have the best player in the National Football League, that you're going to have a chance to win every game. So I think we know that there's a good chance we'll be able to go out there and compete week in and week out, and it's just a matter of filling out the depth of that roster and making sure that when we do run into some issues throughout the course of the season, that we're prepared from the depth standpoint. And that's the challenge. And certainly this year with COVID, there was even more challenges. But again, go back to just the strength of the organization on all levels. It really pays dividends when you have a season like we have this year.
We'll ask Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Brett, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, Herbie.
Just a quick follow-up to Nate Taylor's earlier question on L'Jarius Sneed. You obviously thought well enough of him to draft him, but when did you know, at what point this season, that you actually had something special with him? Well, really, I guess, it was early on. The first few starts, he's
I'll tell you what, we certainly got fortunate. I think had they had one of these draft do-overs, I mean, you can make a case for Jairus being selected in the first round. So I guess we were maybe lucky, more lucky than smart with that one, because he probably, in retrospect, shouldn't have been there in the fourth round. But again, Steve and his staff, I mean, Steve has a great feel. Dave Merritt and Sam Madison are phenomenal as well. Steve has a really good eye. And I remember talking to Steve during draft process and going back and watching Jairus a couple of years ago when he played corner as opposed to safety his final year at La Tech. And but the talent's there, and that's the cool thing about working here as general manager. If the talent's there, the coaches will get it out of them, whether it be Coach Reed and his staff, Coach Bieniemy his staff, and we just got great coaches that find a way to put these players in position to make plays, and they certainly have done that with LJ, and he's been phenomenal all year.
That'll do it for today. Thanks to our production staff and everyone who helps make SportsBeat KC happen: Derek Donovan, Beth Welsh, Monty Davis, Jeff Rosen, Chris Fickett, and Savannah Smith. Links to stories about the Chiefs can be found in the show notes and on kansascity.com. Hey, we have another deal for you, especially for those that want a deep dive into the Stars' terrific Chiefs coverage. For a limited time, you can subscribe to Sports Pass for 99 cents a month. That's right, 99 pennies a month. And what better time to buy into the Chiefs coverage than right now? After 3 months, it auto-renews at $5.99 a month unless you cancel. So how do you get it? You go to kansascity.com/sportspass2020. That's kansascity.com/sportspass2020. Do you want more than just sports coverage? I know I do. Check out the entire Kansas City Star product. News, sports, features, commentary, and analysis, the whole thing. You get all the stories written by my talented colleagues, plus additional news, sports, and business coverage that comes with the e-edition. The details for all of these deals can be found at account.kansascity.com/subscribe. If you're having trouble hunting down any of these offers, send me an email, bkirkhoff@kcstar.com, and I will get you to the right place. So whether it's the Sports Pass or the full subscription, you're getting and supporting the best sports and news coverage in Kansas City and helping us produce programs like SportsBeat KC. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back on Wednesday with another episode.